performance this season. A lot of it can come down to some of those individual plays with Oppers. You think Roka's probably the most, you got to assume he's the most skilled player in the server, the one who's had the most experience as being a dominant force with Sanks as well, like you mentioned. I think we'd both kind of give Complexity the edge in this matchup.
Yeah, I would have to agree. And I think a lot of this is going to come down to how dominant the T sides are here, with the CT side and with just general strats actually having the potential, just even the simplest things like fakes and whatnot having the potential to confuse the CT sides if they're going to be overwhelmed by that. The T side, I imagine, is going to stack up way more rounds for both of these teams. And the higher start Complexity may be able to grab here on this half, it will be a very telling factor as to how quickly they may be able to close out this game, if they are the ones to take it, of course. But Whitmer off to a very quick start with the rest of his teammates following behind to get into the bomb site, and KKona not doing a whole lot to resist it at first, but Invert inside of the market window just taps two away. Ocean also popping out, finds a third on the Shinobi, and then Invert finding a third for himself, shuts down Def. This round's over, it's all into Whitmer at this point, trying to clutch it out by hiding behind, but there's an overwhelming amount of players, but he's not done just as of yet. He's picked up 3 as well, taking down Invert, now looking for 2 more. Vice is very low down at 6 HP as well, but finally Ruru is going to be able to shut him down. Finishes off Whitmer, but almost an incredible comeback from him to put that back into Complexity's favor.
That's the second 1 versus 5 in 2 nights, though. We've almost seen one on a pistol round. That was sick stuff for that, especially with that headshot on Aru there at the end. But Whitmer making a bid for this one, and it's a very good clutch out. That's a nice shot. Only 3 bullets left here, and he drops Invert 1 bullet, and he nails the head. So good round from KKona. A little bit of a bummer. Complexity gets into that bomb site for free, and they have it for a while. They decide not to get the bomb plant down. So you see no investment this round, because there was no plant as well, so they're just going to save up for that 4th round. Everyone ready to barrel out of Palace. 1 flashbang over Rue with the M4. He's got a ranged battle that he can win. One gets up close, he sprays him down, as well as a kill through the box, and there's Invert. But Vice isn't able to stop the plant, so that's actually pretty big for Complexity. No investment, and they get the bomb planted.
Essentially just pile the bodies onto the site, hoping to find that plant, and that's exactly what they accomplished. No frags going to be maintained, however, on the members of KKona, so all of them are going to survive at the end of this one, building up a nice bank, especially when you consider that 3 rifles were invested here too. Only 2 of those SMGs coming out onto the board onto Els and Ocean, but not really any damage being done to KKona. They're going to get a nice early start to the buildup of their own economy here on the CT side. But with that plant, this means Complexity can go right into a gun round.
Yeah, Complexity actually has a lot of money. I'm only buying like maybe a P250 and then, you know, smoke flat, or not even a smoke, just a flashbang to go over. So that plant that's gifted over to them is actually very, very important. Whitmer, with all those kills on the pistol round as well, can even afford a molly and a smoke behind this already used. So it's going to be a duel for mid pressure. Els is going to push up, not too committed. Flashbang comes out. He's going to peek with it. They're all blind. There's 4 members here though, and Els, he actually switches. He goes to a smoke instead of his weapon, and he falls. Flashbang's being rained in. Everyone is so blind. They're all lined up for Rue. He gets 2 kills. Complexity not able to stabilize just yet. There it is, though. Rue looks away. Another flashbang comes out, and this is an ugly duel going on at the top of mid. Sanks and Whitmer finally shut things down.
We're looking away just a little bit too early, and now he's going to meet his demise due to that one. Complexity retake the man advantage, but still not a whole lot of map control maintained by these guys just as of yet. And in the meantime, Ocean falling back to the B bomb site just to be cautious of it. And Vice actually getting a little bit aggressive, going through underpass here too, completely throwing away any potential of this being an A hit. And the right to do so, but Vice needs to make sure he keeps himself alive. This could be perfect though, because nobody from Complexity is paying attention to the flank right now. Vice is going to absolutely decimate if he lines this up properly. Playing it patiently though, and this is going to work out perfect. The trap has been set, but now he needs to strike because he's just lost his teammate. So it's happening too slowly, peeking out, completely whiffs the opportunity, and unfortunately because of that, Whitmer is going to close it out.
That jump from Ocean is so unnecessary. This is just crazy how many people are blind with this one flashbang. Rue lines him up, gets 2 kills, but this turn away here, it's just the wrong moment to do that, and his teammate's flash doesn't really pan out for him. But Ocean there at the end, he's got a teammate in perfect position for that flank. There's no reason for Ocean to give up his spot or to go for that kind of a play. Just wait. Your teammate on the flank is going to be there so quick, Complexity wouldn't expect it. All Ocean had to do is get 1 kill. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out. Complexity do get their first round on the board. It's a buy up into this one. Scout on Invert, 5-7 onto Els. But look at this, full buy out of Complexity. All the utility they could want, all AKs.
And just lining up for a very default A hit now. 2, 3. Already getting ready to push out through the T ramp. Smoke's rolling in though, so it's going to hold it back for a few moments here. And Invert connecting a nice first shot on the Shinobi, ducking him down. But Def responds, shuts down Vice on the site itself. Ruru looking for some as he hugs the outside of the smoke, but they've spotted him. And that's going to be a second kill coming out now for Def as he manages to take down Ruru. The CTs overall struggling to really find any way to strike back against these Ts. So they're going to take very good control. Ocean with a good position, but unable to really connect any of the shots. All he's going to manage to do is bring Def down to 13 HP. And Complexity overall, but very solid control of this site. So it's going to be rough for KKonas to get back in if they even attempt this retake. And there's Sanks once again getting aggressive, picking up another kill.
Yeah, Invert's down 2-on-4 situation, and this is going to be a save call. Ocean's the only one with a rifle. Els doesn't really have anything to even challenge for this whatsoever. She's going to try and get away. They're going to do so. Complexity not chasing it down, but they do have their second round on the board, and this pretty much means that everyone behind Ocean and Els are going to be broke with essentially nothing to buy. So Complexity tie things up. They beat down the Academy of KKona early on, so give themselves an advantage in this terrace half, and now they can try and pile on some rounds. They only lose one member here as well, so they build up some money themselves. It's a good start, and just a standard execute onto this A bomb site.
So for the guys on KKona's now, only managing to bring that one rifle into this round. Really not going to be seeing all too much from them. Basically minimal investment for the rest of the players here. USPs, literally not buying anything else, so KKona is not really going to be able to do too much about this. And Complexity, after going for that third round force spy, establishing themselves quite nicely. KKona is unfortunately throwing away the opportunity to really solidify their control early on here by messing up that flank maneuver with Ocean going for that jump once they had them closed in. And now they've got absolute control of this one. Ocean's going to try to get aggressive early on, but it's a rush outside through the apartments here, so he's going to be challenged early. Shinobi jumping right up on top of him, so Ocean's going to find that kill, but very quickly after that, Els actually, well, it's a nice hole, picks up 2 kills on a Def and Roka. And just like that, the entire pushing force of Complexity has died down, and it's all on Whitmer and Sanks to pull off a 2-on-4 clutch.
Yeah, and Sanks is going to be working his way towards the bomb site. Grabs Invert. Now he's got a couple low, one more market. Sanks grabs that as well, and he's prepared for Els to swing around, so Sanks gets 3 kills, but his teammate's actually fallen, so it is down to a 1-on-1. He should know that Rue is over towards Catwalk, somewhere in this direction. Maybe not expecting to be that out in the open, but he recovers nicely. 4 kills for him, but that B-rush was so damaging. 4 kills come out, and you could see it might even have gone better for KKona, but they were set up trying to do some kind of clever boost to get Ocean up top a little bit quicker than jumping on the van. So they almost get caught out, but some nice damage dealt.
Good response to keep Complexity's economy in check here now, but still not going to stop them from investing fully into the 6th round. And KKona also getting their guns back up to the table here now too. So back into another gun round we go. But Complexity holds the advantage this time and going for very quick mid control. Almost losing one of their players. Def very low, down to 12 HP, but Roka able to strike first, and Whitmer, nobody is watching for control of the palace, so Whitmer's able to peek out for free and find a kill. Thankfully, it does get responded to. Invert responds by shutting down Whitmer, and it's down to a 3v3. Shinobi and 2 more of his teammates working their way in through Connector in the T ramp. They do get partial control of the A bomb site, but they're very skittish about actually pushing onto it because they've left a lot of these areas exposed. KKona could be hiding behind Ticket Box or other places, but there's Shinobi. Finds Invert out in the open. It's a nice pop-off onto him. Just like that, they're back in control.
Yeah, Els jumps out a window, though. Def's got very low HP, only 12. Ocean's going to try and be held by Shinobi, and it works out. He does dink him, but can't complete the kill, and there's Roka. Swiftly ending the life of Els, trying to readjust his position. So nicely done there for Complexity late in that round. Not a smoke to use, but they do Molotov deep into jungle towards window room. That forces Els away so that they can cross into the bomb site. Good cover as well in the planter. And it's back onto a save for KKona. This losing bonus is starting to build up. It's at 4 rounds, but they just don't have enough to get any rifles out, so they're going to save again. Still, we haven't seen it up from either of these teams quite yet. 6 rounds in here, so perhaps with the full losing bonus next round, KKona might decide to switch up and go for that weapon.
KKona's gone for an early stack to the B bomb site this time around too, only leaving Vice to the A bomb site, but Whitmer wasting no time, already pushing his way up Cat. Els did respond with 1 pickup, and Invert too, nice tap as they round the corner on Cat. Shuts down Def, looking for more coming out of Palace, going to try to line up a kill on Shinobi, but Shinobi's busy with his own battle, finds the first kill, but Invert does respond to Roka. Elsewhere on the map, no inside of Connector, picks up another one on Device, bringing this into a 2v1 with Invert as the last one alive. He's managed to recover an AK, but he has no armor, so even winning a simple 1v1 is going to be a very hard task. He needs to try and find a flank, if anything at all.
Bomb is going to get planted now, and it looks like Invert's just going to decide to try and save this. If he wanted to go for it, the best opportunity was to speed things up, try and get a quick kill before the bomb probably got planted, turn it into a 1-on-1, and actually now it does look like he is going to full-blown just knife out, just run down mid. That's going to be an easy kill for Roka. Finish things off, so no weapon saved. Invert not playing the economy game. It is all right, like I mentioned, the losing bonus, it's now at its full 5 rounds, so the op comes out for Ocean. Op comes out for Invert as well, so switching into a double op setup, and behind that as well, the M4s have all the utility they'd need moving forward. 5 AKs still on the board for Complexity, nobody's switching over, but another anti-eco round where it's fast towards the B bomb site, and they lose, 3 members to that, so it is a little bit damaging when they're doing these fast plays towards B on their anti-eco. Seems like KKona is going to have a good read on that moving forward.
Complexity going to be spreading themselves out a little bit more thin this time. 1-1-3 split with 3. They're moving into Palace to go for a hit. Vice is ready for it, though. Drops the bomb carrier, and more importantly, gets Intel the 2 more on the way there. So HE's going to pop out, completely whiffing that, though, and now Vice is down at 6 HP. Thankfully, T is also whiff a Molly down below, so he's going to get by virtue of that to keep himself alive for at least a couple more seconds, but very, very skittish indeed. The Molly goes on the floor, but there was also a smoke tossed in, I think, from the CTs at the same exact time, so Rue is going to pick up another kill there on the def.
That was actually the smoke from the Complexity side, and that one failed as well. It hit a little bit of lip on one of those boards, so it just kind of stopped dead. They wanted it to go a little bit farther, so nade usage not on point for Complexity, but Shinobi is. Headshot on Rue, very quick, trying to even things up. It's a 3-on-4, but Vice is so low. One mistake from him, he's only at 5 HP. It's just Roka's got to be careful, because there is an op over at Ticket Booth. And if he chooses the wrong time to peek, could be a pretty easy kill, but at the moment, Roka's just lurking. His 2 teammates are going to rotate towards the other side of the map, towards the B bomb site. And it remains if Roka's going to be, you know, how passive this lurk is going to be. He might just decide to timing peek out and try and find a kill that would alleviate some pressure for them over towards the B bomb site. But Ocean here with the ult. He's going to hit that shot. Shinobi walks out into the open, and Roka spots one rotating, spots a second. Is he going to clear underneath him? He is. Vice falls. There's the 5 HP. That's going to pull one back. It's going to be invert, and Roka catches him out in the open. So 2 quick kills for him, and now this has turned into an elaborate fake. This has turned into a double fake, essentially, pulling apart the KKona defense to each site. Roka now working his way over towards Market. Ocean finishes him off with a nice op shot, but Sanks is going to get the bomb down, and it's a 1-on-2, and it looks like KKona, no, Ocean's wise to it. They know it's the B bomb site now.
Sanks has so much time to get himself into whichever post-plant position he wants to play in, though. Just going to be hiding out behind the bomb site, whereas the 2 remaining members of KKonas are on the way in through Market, both Ocean and Els. Ocean already out, so going for a very quick momentum on this one, but Sanks starting to think there's going to be a flank coming at him. He can definitely hear the footsteps as they inch closer and closer, but now he's got to play this out. Ocean sneaking up, the smoke goes on the floor, finds that nice tap, but he doesn't realize just to his left there's another player. Els trying to sneak his way in. He's still in a great position to try and outduel Els here at this point, but who's going to check it first? Peeking around the corner, it's Sanks, nicely done. Clutches out the 1v2 and puts another round onto the board for Complexity.
Yeah, sick 1-on-2 win from Sanks, also from Roka getting those 2 kills. The KKona just gets pulled apart after those come out from Roka, so they don't know where to go. You can just watch on the minimap here. There goes Vice, so the Opera gets pulled back. That's invert, and with Roka getting the swift kill on him, everyone evacuates from the B bomb site. Easy plant for Sanks, and some nice movement in that 1-and-2, so nothing going right for KKona. The double op switch up doesn't work. Now Whitmer's got an AWP for free, and Sanks is going to confidently, slowly peek out of this A ramp. They get 1 kill. That was a push in the balcony. There is still 1 more there. Rue is underneath. Biding his time, he does get 1 kill, but that's about it. So it's going to be a mop-up. And not too much of an investment from the KKona side. So again, in the next round, in the next gun round, with the losing bonus and everything, they're going to have still a lot of money to go for, but it's starting to get a pretty dire situation. You did mention that you were expecting this to be a little bit more T-sided, but it is going to come down to that question, KKona, are they going to be able to are they going to be able to be as effective as Complexity is?
And there's Ocean trying to skid her away to save that deagle, but unfortunately he's been found out as they force him outside of his hiding position there. The Molly is spray coming through the wall, and then finally an op shot from behind him. So he's not going to be able to save all that much, but with these players being on the losing bonus for quite some time now anyway, they're not going to have any trouble reinvesting. Going back to that double op setup, Ocean and Invert both picking those up, and the 3 other M4s coming onto the table. Ocean going to be very light on utility because he has gone for the upgraded pistol instead. Still has armor sitting behind his bio, of course, but only a singular smoke to help him out to play further into the B-bomb site, whereas other teammate that's helping him, Els, is more focused on middle and trying to prevent an aggressive push in that direction.
Ocean again with the op. Shinobi's going to peek right into it, but Ocean misses the shot. So a little bit of mobility from Shinobi. He's lucky to get away from that, to be completely honest, but it is going to force Ocean away from such an aggressive peek. Meanwhile, the bomb and one other player in the A Palace, a couple members of Complexity working their way up catwalk over towards the B bomb site and actually to get in towards vents. So mid control for Complexity. It's all about where they want to go from here, and they're going to come out into window room. Invert with a kill onto Roka. That's coming out of Palace, but Rue gets caught with a nade in his hand. He wins the battle anyways. There's 1 more underneath balcony. That's Vice in shadow. Does some damage, but it's just staying alive at the moment, biding his time, waiting for rotations to come over. In Complexity, they're getting whittled down. There's not a whole lot of places they can go. 1 member in Palace, 1 in jungle, and it's not looking likely from here.
So Vice is hiding underneath. Def does connect a nice shot onto him, actually, as they find him out. And Whitmer going to just try to burn him out from underneath of there. Going to be on point, and unfortunately, Vice way too slow on getting himself outside of that, so he's going to be burnt. Down to a 3v2 now. Complexity bouncing back a little bit, but still such a little ground to work with 40 seconds left. But there's a nice peek from Whitmer. Shuts down Invert. Now Els is really the only one that's actually inside of this bomb site. Ruru is still alive, but he's outside of connector. Can't really do much until that bomb goes down unless he's really sneaky and really wise about his play. So he's going to be hiding outside, and Els will respect this a little bit here too. But no, he gets aggressive, jumps back up. Def catches the trade after he shuts down Whitmer, but still down to a 1v1. And Ruru, the last one alive from KKona, to try and play this out.
Yeah, fake plant here to try and lure Root out into the open. He's going to do just that. And with low HP, there's nothing Root can do. That's an 8th round for Complexity. He even salvages the AWP, so this T side is still just racking up rounds, and it's going to be back onto a save. Maybe a half buy out of KKona, but this is a nice shot from Whitmer. Invert's got to land that shot, but Whitmer's just a little bit too quick for him, and then another 1-on-2 one from Complexity. So they actually, despite a couple of these rounds coming down to 1-on-2s, you know, being a little bit close, the fact that, okay, so it is going to be a force buy here. So instead of, you know, double saving and going for another AWP, KKona just buys up here. So this is going to allow them, if they have some success, I was just going to say, despite some of these rounds being close, it was, you know, there's still plenty of money on the Complexity side. That's not going to be the case now, as there's not going to be a free round where they're saving. It's all going to come down to Roka trying to entry onto Ocean, and he is going to get it. Now he's going to swing out to get another duel, but that's not going to win. But the rest of Complexity is following this up. Meanwhile, the rotation is on as well.
KKona is very quickly re-entering into the bomb site. Els, along with Invert, but Invert needs the first death there as he's caught working his way outside. And also Els, just around the corner from the site too, is shut down. Finally, Ruru is able to respond, but in that 2v2, he's a little bit skittish about keeping his head peeked out for too long, so falls back to regroup with Vice. Now these two will be the ones to try and play it out, but still no plant coming out from Complexity. They're a little bit cautious, and Whitmer is still sitting just outside of the apartments with the bomb. Does not want to take the chance that it as of yet, and Sanks too, going for a very, very long flank right now, potentially trying to switch this hit up if Whitmer decides to fall all the way back as well.
Yeah, I was assuming that Whitmer was just going to stay posted with his AWP towards market and allow Sanks to get into a new position, but this is a little bit of a clever play. I imagine Sanks, with this low HP, is going to continue to try and, you know, come out with some unexpected movement, get in towards window room, go through the murder hole, try and flank towards CT spawn to allow Whitmer to have a free, easy access towards the A bomb site. So it remains to be seen here, but Sanks is trying to make a play. There is one member at A and one member on catwalk for KKona, so they're a little bit split, but it's all about Sanks.
Sanks is getting really lucky with the positioning here too, considering they've decided to keep a lot of their eyes on mid. So if Sanks decided to move forward back over there towards Ticket, he could get a free kill on device.
The issue is there's only 15 seconds left, and Sanks is playing towards the B bomb site, so there's no one to help Whitmer get this bomb planted. This is going to be an easy kill for Vice, and the round's over now. So I'm very confused about that play from Sanks to just stay posted on market instead of making his way through CT spawn to try and get that kill that would alleviate the pressure. So KKona, just by virtue of the time running on the clock, Complexity runs out of it. Runs out of the time in the round to make that kind of a play. However, now here's the eternal struggle for these CT sides after going on that losing streak. They come down to just one player. It's 3-8, and if they don't string rounds together here, their economy is going to be completely reset, and that would just be detrimental to having any kind of window of opportunity into the second half.
The Complexity having 8 rounds in a row, they're being picked up by those guys. They're going to have no trouble at all rebuying into a full buy this time around. Actually, it was some very, very close rounds, so like we were talking about before, they don't necessarily have the most money left over after that. A couple guys still in good positions, and they can probably force up 1 or 2 more times here, but they too could be on the chopping block very quickly here. But thankfully, we're coming close to the end of the half, so that's not going to matter for too much. But Vice finds the first kill on his Shinobi here, managing to take him down. He's a trade to his HP, but L's also striking too, so we're out top the ticket booth. He picks up another kill on Naroka. The guys on KKona is actually playing this A bomb site very well. Finally, Whitmer responds, works his way out and grabs 2 kills back to back. Ocean responds, but Sanks picks up a trade onto that one as well, so shutting down Ocean. Thankfully, Vice is there to pick up the final frag, shuts it down, and KKona does string 2 together here.
Yeah, important, but it's going to still be another buy from Complexity at 8-4. KKona essentially needs the rest of this half. They need to get more rounds on the board. Complexity's last few rounds, though, have gotten a little bit sloppy in some of the battles that they're taking. There's not as much trading going on as there was earlier. It's just, you know, that round especially was just, you know, 2 aim duels initially at that A bomb set that they lose and just kind of whittles too many players away. Bomb is left in T spawn for the moment. It's going to be mid control. 3 members here being very cautious for a push. That's how Vice got his first kill in the last round. They are going to take control of mid very, very easily. Molotov out into winter to give himself some space to work with. Meanwhile, Shinobi's been brought down to about 48 HP from Els. He's just playing in the upper B tunnels. Still, though, no one from Complexity giving away the end game here.
Well, just hanging out right now to the middle, and this is oftentimes the problem for some of these teams is, okay, they can get mid-control for free, but how do they actually get beyond it and get themselves onto a site with this amount of control? Especially if they don't punish areas like window after that initial smoke starts to fade away, and right now they just have Invert camping inside of there, waiting for that exact opportunity to work his way towards it. Flashbangs being tossed out through connector. They know the presence is here. Invert can hear it all from his window position, and the smoke is gone now. Nobody really paying too much attention to it on the T side as it would appear, so he could be free to strike at any moment there, but it's going to be Shinobi that finds the first kill. Invert peeks out looking for a trade, but looks too far up, and Sanks is going to be able to catch the counter trade onto that one, taking down Invert. Roka finding another one for his team, and bringing it just down to 2 left alive for the guys on KKona's, but Ocean finding another frag onto Sanks, and Roka responding again inside of that window, holding it nicely, takes down Els, and leaves Ocean as the last man alive on the CT side.
Yeah, that round's very nice from Complexity. Really good trades as they enter towards the A bomb site, and then once some of the trades go in their favor, there's some space for them to work with. Roka just unleashes himself, gets aggressive over towards the murder hole, is able to find another kill. So this is looking like it's going to be a 9-4 scoreline for Complexity after this round. Ocean nowhere near the bomb, doesn't even look like he's going to go for it, just trying to save his weapon. It'll be interesting now the decision that KKona is going to have in the next round in terms of their economy. What are they going to be able to buy? Because they did string 2 rounds together. But here at the end of the half, try and get as many, and actually Ocean's not even going to be able to save his M4. Roka's going to take that out with a nice jump around the corner. 3 kills for Roka on the round. That's huge for him.
So there we go, heading now into one of the final rounds of the first half. We're talking about before the T side's probably going to be dominant, and this seems to be the case for the first half here with Complexity so far leading the charge. And KKona's sort of being out of cash once again here, just going to be forcing up with whatever they can buy. CZs, a couple of upgraded pistols beyond that, and the Scout coming on Ocean with no armor sitting behind it. And Complexity just have the absolute advantage once again. Ironically enough, still, or not really ironically, but again, just to note this, still really not utilizing the op all that much on the T side. Mainly just been using 5 AKs for basically the entire half so far, and they're going to pick up the first kill once again here. That's Roka that finds it. Ruru does respond. Roka getting a little bit too over-aggressive there by being shut down by Ruru, but immediately Def and Sanks respond. 3 more kills for the Complexity roster, and unfortunately KKona not going to be able to do too much else. L's firing him off. They know he's inside of the apartments now. He's trying to get aggressive. He actually does catch Whitmer mid-reload, so it's going to shut him down. But now he's given up sight controls while moved away from that one, and they can very easily just box him out for the rest of the round.
Yeah, Molotov going to come out. You almost feel like you have to go for this one if you're L's, just because your team needs rounds. Either way, though, because of the force buy here, just because they're trying to get a bigger number on the board, stuck on those pistols and armor, he's just going to fall away and hopefully bring it into the next round, because that's essentially all they'll have in the next round as well, is just some upgraded pistols, maybe able to have some SMGs, maybe have an M4, but doesn't seem likely. As KKona now looking like it's going to be 11-4 half. It's definitely going to be 10-4. And actually, it looks like, look at Complexity. They've read this so well. They're not going to let him get away whatsoever. Shinobi's not even going to fall. He's brought down to 1 HP from L's, but he gets that kill in the end. So no rifle comes into the next round, and it's going to be all pistols for KKona.
We've already seen with KKona's too, they're not really able to do all that much. Even when they do put arbors behind some of these, they can catch a couple trade kills here and there, but the actual chance of them picking up a round is very slim. So it's looking likely enough for Complexity to take an 11-4 half, at which point the second half, if they pick up that pistol round, should be very, very simple to close out and take control of the first map in this set here today. So Complexity finally actually using that op now onto Whitmer, since it is going to be that final round. So they'll see what they can work with it. Very early mid control being fought for here too, but Sang's picking up that first kill already. They know there's one repentant connector. Elzen sneak one away, and oh, nice reaction from Roka. Just destroys Ruru as soon as they get past that smoke. And they have the site control. So again, Ocean, the only player that was really there to defend the B-bomb site, is the last one left. They know where he is. He's been playing the same spot the entire half. He's going to try to get cheeky. Actually, nice 2 taps there to take down Roka. Swipe and a swipe, but gets caught creeping his way through the hole, and Def will shut it down to give Complexity the 11-4 lead.
Yeah, really sick first half from Complexity. It wasn't anything special strategically, but they essentially just bullied their way wherever they wanted to go. You know, like you mentioned, I mean, they picked up the up a couple times. It was only when they killed an opposing team's opper, and then they bought one at the end. But for the most part, that 5 AK setup was exactly what they wanted. They wanted to just go very fast-paced, work on those trades, get into the fight very quickly. And they just essentially outskilled KKona for that entire half. So 11-4, you were correct. The terrorist side was much more effective than the CT side for Complexity. The question is, can KKona do something similar here? And it is all going to start on that pistol round. And will they be able to pull it out?
We'll see the investments coming in now, of course, but KKona is having a lot of work, a lot of ground to make up here now. I'm just going to bring a pretty typical setup to the table here. 2 smokes, a couple flashbangs to work with.
KKona won the pistol round in the first half, right?
Yeah, so they won the first 2 rounds, and then it got traded out due to a force buy.
Yep, that's actually pretty insane. That's a bummer.
From that point forward, obviously, they just got dominated for basically the entire half, and they only had one more 2-round streak after that, some point in the middle there. So Complexity having a pretty good advantage here, but they have placed a lot of their players towards B-bomb site, whereas KKona is going for a little bit more of an open option here. 2 directly entering into the A site through the T ramp, but Shinobi already handling 1 and both of them. The other 3 were in middle and are basically just going to have to go for a cat push now by virtue that they have no control of that A-bomb site. Vice striking the first one, but there's 2 more waiting, and that third one might end up being a little bit of a surprise, especially over there by the van. Nice done by Sanks to pick up the first trade kill. Def peeks out, finds another one, and Shinobi leaping out, finding the final one, shuts down Ruru, and gives Complexity the hold on their lead heading into the second half.
Yeah, no success coming up catwalk. No success coming up this ramp. These 2 kills by Shinobi. If he gets a kill there, that might force Whitmer to push up on catwalk to try and get a quick rotate through connector, and that would allow him to get picked off by those 3 players. But like you said, that 3-player B stack Once they even kill the catwalk presence, there's still 2 members in the B bomb site at range with those pistols, so still very hard for KKona, and they buy up into this round. Tech 9 armor. They have no nades, though. So no kind of execute going to come out. They're going to have to rely on these 2 Deagles, Vice and Ocean with those. Those guys are going to have to get at least 1 or 2 kills in this round to force a rotation, to allow some space for the Tech 9s to get to work and swarm over some of the defense. And it looks like Ocean is going to lead the way to the top of mid. No one's here, though, for complexity. They're playing 2 in the A bomb site, 3 very much dedicated towards the B bomb site. That's going to be Shinobi pushing up towards catwalk, delayed into this round. You're
kind of smart to hold back at the very least, though, considering the lead complexity have. It would not be too out of place for complexity to start getting aggressive right now. But at least in this round, it's not too wise because they want to make sure KKona is the one that strikes first. And Shinobi actually very overexposed and completely misses the connection there on that first shot. So Ocean is going to find the first kill. L's following suit, trying to push in through arches here. He picks up a kill, scavenging that M4 to take down Sanks with this one. And Whitmer having a little bit of trouble finishing him off. Does manage to find him, but not going to be able to finish him off. Just ends up mollying further out in the site to force him back a bit, and still cannot close it out. So KKona have a nice little lead here, 4-on-3, and they've managed to scavenge a rifle for themselves here too at the beginning of this round.
Yeah, positioning by Shinobi is not wise. Very, very much alone with that M4 on catwalk. So when he falls, it's able to get a following kill from it from Els. So good stuff early on in this round. There is still an opportunity. Roka is pushing up towards T-Spot. He gets caught out in the open, though, brought down to 6 HP. Now he's got to fall back towards the bomb site. He hears the footsteps chasing him, but he is surrounded. So it's where do you go from here, Roka? Because you're getting pinched from 2 different locations. There it is. Ruru comes up connector, gets that easy kill. Now it's on the remaining player, Def. He has the other M4, misses the initial shot. 1 up close. That's Ruru with the jumping Tech 9. In complexity, this defense has been picked apart by these pistols. There's no chance here for Whitmer rotating over. 4 members survive for KKona. Just running all over the map and finding isolated defenders.
2 M4 is also going to be picked up in this round for free on the side of KKona, so that's a nice little upgrade, and now they'll be able to buy the 3 remaining AKs easily here. In fact, one of them might even decide to sit back a little bit and roll with the Tech 9, but that's not the case. All picking up the AKs here now and the M4s that they managed to scavenge, and this completely breaks complexity. They're not even going to try to react to this. They're just upgrading pistols this time on 1 or 2 players, and the rest are going to stick with USPs, so they've still got that nice cushion. No reason to test it as of yet. Just going to decide to say, all right, a little bit of a mess up there. Let's just try to save up and focus on the next gun round.
Yeah, they have plenty of rounds to play with. No reason to throw their economy in disarray this early on. Aggression in towards the Palace, though. Roka's going to be pushing up there, so trying to gain some kind of information. He does have a Deagle. There's 1 member watching for this. That's going to be Invert. He's back towards a ramp. Meanwhile, 4 members of KKona over towards the B site. 3 are going to take control of top mid. And hopefully not lose too many guns, because they're going to need a strong economy on this T side if they want to be able to make this comeback. They're going to have to survive some losses. It's all about when is complexity going to get that buy-in. Because they do have a decent amount of money for losing that second round. Roka with the Deagle, swings out very wide and commits. Ocean drops him. Deagle only gets 1 shot off and it doesn't connect. But now look at this rotation from complexity. 4 members at this B bomb site. Ocean spotted 1 out, but he's just baiting everyone in. KKona still playing far back. A couple nice shots, brings Vice down to 42. Molotovs are going to flush players out in the open, and KKona has handled this very, very well. Just Whitmer and Def left, and they already know that Def is over towards Market, works his way out. This is a lot of pressure, so KKona just decides to fall back towards the A site.
Playing it safe there, as there was a nice crossfire lineup between Def and Whitmer to try and catch a couple of those guys on the way back in. And Def trying to line up something, but unfortunately without armor, these guys are just going to get punched to death. Uru finding the final 2 kills. KKona will find a 6th round here. Still a lot of ground to gain, of course, but for complexity now, with 1 more save coming up after this, they will be able to reinvest and finally put some guns onto the table to start resisting this and actually just go for the outright win on this map.
Maybe looking for the op in that 4th round. Perhaps getting that bad boy out. So we'll see. 12-6. A little bit of a run here for KKona. Stronger weapons. Roka's going to get very aggressive towards A ramp. He has that Deagle. He's brought down very low, but he does win the battle. If he can get 1 more, that'd be huge. No rotation. It's 4 members in mid for complexity. And Roka not able to land the next shot. Els finds him out. Ocean's getting pushed upon. There is Shinobi with the 5-7. Gets up close. Can't win that battle. In fact, Ocean hasn't even been touched yet. He's tapping away for 1 more kill. Whitmer finally cleans him up. Def waiting for Els to peek. That's a nice reaction. Down to a 2-on-2. Def just got to stay alive. His teammate does have an AK-47 to utilize, trying to get back into the action. Molotov comes out, but it lands at the top of the stairs. That's not going to force Def into the open. So a scary situation now for KKona.
We're caught out in the open, so Invert's going to be able to take him down, and unfortunately Def's been found out too, bringing him down to 3 HP too, as he inches a little bit too close to the flames. So KKona back into a good hold position. They know he's still somewhere into the steps, and he just reaffirmed that position for the T's. So there we go, the pop flash over. Doesn't connect, but they basically just have him boxed in at this point. This will be the 7th round pickup from KKona's. And Vice sitting up on top of the triple stack further in sight. Just waits from the peak a little bit too far. Finally manages to finish him off, and there's a 7th round for KKona's now. So, Complexity having to save up quite a bit there by losing the 2nd round. Always a muck in the economy. But by doing this, of course, now they're able to go for the double up buy. And it's a good one, too. Having armor behind both of them. Decent amount of utility for all the rifle players as well.
Yeah, Roka and Whitmer are going to bring those into the action. And some good kills there for Complexity. They do take out 3 members of KKona, force 3 rebuys. Plenty of money was built up on this T side during that small run, and look at this Def wants to take the fight to the terrace, pushing up mid. There's a pop flash. KKona playing very far back, waiting for this. Sanks is in mid as well, but Def is just being very patient with how he wants to peek this. Biding his time in mid, but he's very susceptible to a pop flash. It's going to be Ocean who jumps out, switches to the bomb, brought down very low, and then he gets cleaned out. But Def, there's nowhere to go. 11 HP, and Whitmer saves him with a nice shot with the op. Good presence for Complexity in mid, and that forces back KKona. So Def is going to survive with 1 HP on this push.
Def even holding his ground that entire time as well. Now moving up to peek it. They know they've fallen back, so they can reaffirm themselves into that A-bomb site. It's Roka's time to party. Shuts down Els. 2 more on the way, but they're so far behind, so it's given Roka time to reaffirm. And there's nothing left for these 2 remaining KKona's players to do. They are going to start to face check the B-bomb site. So maybe they did manage to sneak their way inside of the back hallways there just before we saw the peek come out from Def. And how Ruru goes for the entry. He does pick up the first one and a second one too, so nicely done. But Roka gonna re-peek. Manages to shut down Ruru. That Molotov from Vice coming in just a little bit too late. And he's now gonna leave himself with the last man alive. But Roka, a little bit dodgy there, goes back into the fire. Down to 11 HP as he tries to put himself into a safer position. But as Vice creeps further onto the site, he should be safe, at least for the time being, to try and go for a plant.
30 seconds left. No flashbang though, so he's gonna be very, very susceptible to this. Fake plant more than likely here. No, he's just gonna risk it. Roka's slowly creeping out around the angle, and he cleans him up. They actually line up for Shinobi. He almost was able to turn that into a one-on-one, which would have been a scary situation to be in with Whitmer rotating into that site with an AWP. But they do salvage. They do pick up Roka's op at the end. He gets 2 kills with that. Whitmer gets 1. So the double up setup has huge effect on this first gun run of 3 kills. And a great mid-presence from Complexity. KKona not able to push him back, so they take far too much damage from this. Was just, I mean, he switches to the bomb right on this peak, so don't know what that was about.
I do like the decision at the end from Vice there too, to just go for the plan instead of like taking the risk and trying to pull off a hero 1v3 play. We see that a lot on some of these higher tier NA teams, whereas this time he just says, yeah, I'm just going to go for the plan here, get the extra money for my team, and we'll focus on the next round. There's no way I'm pulling this off. It's a very realistic choice, and it helps your team out much more because now they can get the full utility buy and everything heading into the 6th round of the half.
Yeah, and they're going to have to do something big here, lining up for just a standard A execute. Roka's close up with the op, and he's the only one really at the say bomb site. It is Sanks who's the next closest. He's going to be in connector. And then we have one pushed up on catwalk, and I believe Whitmer in the window with that op. So Roka's close up, has got to do something. He's actually in a really, really bad position here. He's just going to get aggressive. No scope. Why not? Goes for a second. Scopes in this time, but gets dropped by Rue. Molotov out onto the top of the balcony. And KKona's just going to get aggressive. Runs over, and 2 kills for Rue. He's got 3 total in the round. The defense has collapsed. Whitmer on the rotate can't get anything done. So the bomb is going to be planted. That's planted for connector in mid, and Shinobi on top can't connect with any shots. All of a sudden, Complexity just falls apart.
And Ruru gonna find another kill or 2. That's a 4-kill round for him. He goes absolutely alive this round, just rushes through, finds a trade on Roka initially, and gets that excellent double kill, sitting back over on the steps. Shuts it down completely, all in his lonesome there too. Wasn't even hiding behind a teammate to use his cover for that one. Just leads the charge essentially after that first shot comes out from Roka. That's gonna put an 8th round onto the board from KKona, and again, we'll reset the CT economy here too, so Complexity is right back to ground zero in terms of their saving.
Yeah, and that's a mistake from that play from Roka. I mean, if this is a round where your economy can get reset and you're playing very close up with an AWP, I mean, trying to be a little bit too creative, a little bit too aggressive, and they get punished for it massively, especially with no one there to back it up. By the time the rotations came in, KKona had already made too much progress in that ace site. So back onto the pistols for Complexity, and that's going to allow KKona to close this gap a little bit. It's no longer a blowout here. They managed to win this round, and maybe it's a double save out of Complexity. It could allow KKona to get up towards 10. I don't know if Roka has anything to do with it, though. He does get 1 long-range battle with that P250, but the B bomb site is lost. Sanks isn't even paying attention. Rue's going to assassinate him, all down to Def.
Def, unfortunately, not a whole lot he can do. He's just been spotted by Ocean as well, so they know he's creeping around in the middle here somewhere. Just gets hit right in the face of that grenade too, so not a whole lot for Def to do. Hoping to line up a kill on Ocean, but probably jumping up there on the catwalk at the worst possible time. Ocean gonna catch him midair, shuts it down. That'll be a 9th round for KKona here. Also starting to build up quite a nice bank on quite a few of these players, most notably Rur and Ocean, both sitting at exactly $7,500. A couple of the other guys that do happen to die a little bit more than often. Els and Vice sitting a little bit lower, but the rest of them still sitting pretty in complexity. This is another save round from them. The only investment we see are those 3 Deagles and a couple upgrades beyond that. So should be a pretty easy time for KKona to clean this up and find a 10th round once more.
Yeah, this is a little bit scary. You want to see teams like Complexity just be able to keep their foot, you know, on the throat of their opponent and close these matches out. Fortunately, it's not happening here, as KKona is going to have an opportunity to make it back. Ru's being very aggressive, very confident, just coming into B, dropping out of this. But look at this mid-aggression. Pop flash over. Sanks and Roka get 2 kills. Vice is here to try and shut this down. Backup is on the way off catwalk as well, but they've lost 3 members. There it is. Ru chimes in. Sanks does recover, and Els from top mid gets 1, but Roka with the 1 deeg, he gets 3 kills in the round. Sanks has 2. They survive, not able to salvage any AKs, but an incredible round. A delayed pop flash over mid. And that kind of a play just annihilates KKona.
And they've got so much money now because they were going to buy on this round anyway. So I think Sanks and Roko were sitting at around 7,000. Plenty of easy cash to buy at this time. And they brought KKona down so low here too. So they've instantly taken control of the situation. Both these teams are on the cusp of running out of cash. And if Complexity can win this round and break KKona, then they're basically going to win the game off of that, as they're going to be forcing up in the next round with a very minimal buy. So KKona definitely almost immediately placed into the hot seat after things are starting to look great for these guys.
Yeah, they absolutely need this round, and this is the round that they won just a few times ago. Roka again playing close up towards a ramp. This time he's on top of the mountain boxes, but he's going to drop in a closet. Smoke comes out. Pop flash over for Roka. Just waiting, biding his time. There's a smoke in Palace, so right now Vice is going to not have a lot of information. Ru's going to turn the corner, and he's going to fall. Roka not able to get a second one, but I believe he does Dinka, but Vice and Els are doing some work. Els gets up close. And still, Def is just biding his time at the site, finds Invert over the top of the smoke. He's got Els close up, and Els has no idea where he is, but he reacts accordingly. He adjusts his aim, and it's now a 1-on-2. Whitmer rotating over from mid. He's going to be coming up connector with an AWP and a 1-on-2.
Looking for the shots from Els as he peeks back out. The flashbang rolls, and actually, apologies, it's going to be a Molotov toss a little bit further back, but not going to be connecting. Whitmer has been found out, though. Just trying to take some random shots, hoping he can get lucky by connecting onto one of them here. Looking for Els behind the trip stack there, but he's not peeking. Oh my goodness, Whitmer connects onto Els. And now looking for one more onto Ocean. He's only down at 25 HP. Doesn't realize it though, moving in. He's picked up the rifle. That smoke going back over inside of it, inside of the firebox there. Ocean, he's managed to dodge completely around it, and Whitmer doesn't even realize that Ocean, he's gonna go for the knife, and Ocean clutches it out. KKona's keep themselves alive in this match, and they win the round.
That's crushing for Complexity, who's not able to string 2 rounds together. Whitmer almost pulls this out, but like you said, it's the mobility of Ocean. Even if that smoke lands, it might actually help Ocean, provide him a little bit more cover inside the bomb site, but either way, 14-10, and Complexity is back onto pistols, not able to string rounds together. That A execute that KKona does and just get aggressive towards connector has been decimating this defense. Still though, 2 rounds left for Complexity to win this match. KKona at 10. Remains to be seen if they're going to double save this time as well, because they had some money left over. Like you said, winning that eco run builds up their bank a little bit more, so they actually have a decent amount of money this time. They might be able to buy into the next one if they want to force up some M4s and some FAMASs for some utility. Will be interesting to see, but comeback now for KKona is looking a little bit good.
Not off to the best start for Complexity either. Again, just trying to force their players or form their players up around middle. Hoping to catch KKona if they try to go for aggressive control of it, but Sanks had gotten way more aggressive, pushing himself out from the T-ramp. He's picked up a kill, surprised Els, and Alice found an AK. He's also the only player in Complexity with armor sitting behind his buy as well, so this is actually going to be the perfect player to pick this up, and he's taken no damage from that battle.
The one bad thing, though, is he got so much information. He's like, all right, guys, I just came from A. It's clear. KKona is actually rotating back towards the A bomb zone. You can see it's forced a couple players to cheat over towards wind room for a quick rotation towards B. But the main hit is going to be at this A site, and the AKs have pretty much vacated. They're in connector. They're making sure they have mid control. They're getting aggressive now to find some info. Whitmer's going to spot one out at B, but Vice finishes him off. This is going to cause some mobility, pushing up mid, now rotating up catwalk towards the B site, but this should be a pretty easy plant over at A because there's only one member here. That's Sanks with the AK-47. Ru takes him out at range. Should be an easy cleanup for the rest of KKona this round.
Yeah, Def lining up a nice shot at the invert, but now he's got to keep himself alive for 3 more of those kills. Quickly checking his surroundings, make sure there's no flank coming in. It's not the case. They're all out on the site, but they know exactly where he's playing from now, and there's not really any chance for him to reposition anywhere else on this site. So just going to be trying to sneak his way out. He has managed to retrieve the AK from his dead teammate, but again, keep in mind, no armor sitting on him. If they spot him first and shut him down, then it's not going to be a whole lot he can do it. That's exactly what's going to happen there. Ocean just peeks out, takes the duel, gets the first shot, and shuts down Def to give KKona their 11th round. Just 3 more behind Complexity now.
Wouldn't be the worst idea to save again in this round if you're Complexity, though. Make sure you can have whatever you want, because that's the big thing. They have to be able to win 2 in a row. They haven't done it yet this half. So make sure you have everything you could possibly need, all the nades to win that first round, and then in the second, clean it out. But invert with that op. Both teams have kind of gone away from that mid control that we saw earlier on in this half, and this time KKona, they've won 2 rounds with that A execute that was just been brutal on Complexity's defense, and they're not going to go back to it this time. That might be something next round. For that next gun run, we might see KKona go back to it. But for now, Complexity, they have a couple flashbangs. They've got 3 to work with, so look for something creative in these mid rounds, like last time when they just pop flashed over mid and did a delayed mid take. That was sick, but no opportunity for that this time as KKona's avoiding it completely.
So KKona's still taking things very slowly, actually watching out for there to be aggression from Complexity since there's been so much of it in the past, specifically around middle. They've got Invert watching out for that one, and you might actually catch some of it too. Invert, or Whitmer, apologies, sneaking up around the corner here. It'll be Invert that takes him on. But it does not look like Whitmer wants to actually test it, so they're just going to be hiding back for the time being. And the rest of Complexity hiding on the site too, but that shot taken a little bit too early, so it's not going to connect on Whitmer. That does give away Invert's position, but still nothing really to be gained from that. All that's going to happen is Whitmer will now fall back closer to the B-bomb site to keep a watchful eye on that, as the rest of KKona starts to formulate themselves around a more cohesive strat, which looks like it's going to be heading towards the A-bomb site.
Yeah, Def and Underpass is trying to take a duel. Rue's playing it very smart, very wisely, just trying to bait out some shots because he knows the ammunition that's CZ, and actually Def wins that fight in the fire, does eventually kill him after the fact. But the A-hit is on for KKona. There's only 1 pistol left here to deal with. One's on the rotate, not going to be here in time. Sanks has to fall away from flashbangs and fire. Elza is going to grab a new angle to defend against this, and it's a nice headshot on the Sanks. And Whitmer is just going to be the next one to be followed up upon by Els. 12-14, KKona is back in this, but this is the important round. This is the double save that Complexity, or the buy that double save is meant to give them. It's only going to be 1 op this time onto Whitmer, not that affluent in terms of their money, because Whitmer's got no armor behind this.
So taking a bit of a risk in this one this time too, but the rest of the other 4 players still building up everything they would need. KKona's though definitely in the driver's seat as of this round from that last gun run that they did manage to pick up there. Give them an 11th round, and for Complexity, just going back to a normal stack here. Nothing too crazy coming out from the CT side, and yep, it's that same exact hit to the A bomb site. Apologies, that we've been seeing in so many of these gun rounds so far in the half.
Yeah, this time though, Def, Roka, they have the M4s. They're going to have to stop this. Roka's playing on top of stairs. Flashbang to try and delay things at A ramp. It works perfectly. They're going to start running out of utility. Molotov to prevent them from getting close. This has been aggression over towards Roka position. KKona's bombing flashes this way. There's the jump over. Can Els do work? He can't. Roka's ready for it. Grabs that first kill, but Vice trades him off. Def falls on the site to Ocean. This is dire now for Complexity. Sanks jumping to the smoke. He's got to find this, but he gets blind. Rue with another one. Whitmer on the rotation grabs one at the AWP to alleviate some pressure, but it's still a 2-on-3 post plant. Ocean in the site, 1 in Palace and 1 at A ramp.
These rotations for the B bomb site were so slow. They're just now getting back into this site and starting to take back control. It all has to start from steps, and Whitmer's hoping for someone to be inside of Palace to peek out and go for that retake, but it's not the case. And if he goes any further, there is a Winvert just waiting for him with the op. Shuts down Shinobi. There's no way Whitmer's clutching this one out, especially with all 3 of those players basically being unharmed. So he's got to fall back. He's got to save the big gun, as now KKona have a very real chance of bringing this back into their favor.
Yeah, this defense of the A-bomb site for Complexity has been so weak, and there really hasn't been too much of an adjustment in terms of manpower. I mean, Roka's starting to get the feeling that when this A-hit comes in, they're going to jump over and be wildly aggressive towards stairs and towards connector, but it's just still 1 player trying to make the play. There's no adjustment in terms of a second player being there to help prevent that kind of a jump from KKona. So very, very dire. We were wondering if KKona was going to be able to do this on their T side, and at least for the moment, the way they've done it is just 3 nice executes on the A-bomb site, and then it's been double saves for Complexity in between each of those. So that's what's allowed KKona to get back into this.
And it's going to be another save this time from Complexity, only keeping the op in play, of course, save from the previous round on Whitmer, and unless Whitmer comes out like an absolute hero, more than likely we're not going to see all that much from him, although it does look like Complexity are going for a very straightforward hit right now through the apartments, but Whitmer, again, is going to be flashed, so he has to fall back and seize this ground, missing another shot. He's out in the open. His teammate tries to save his life, but Shinobi's going to be far too slow in the reaction to that one. one, looking for more, but now he's trapped, and it's going to be Ruru that just picks him off now as he swings out there. Already down to just 3 left alive. Sank's trying to go for the big rotate. They're not even really trying for the retake now, as Sank's just going to position himself for exits outside of the halls. Def being digged down very low, and only finished off by Ruru. Now the rest of these guys just going to fall down like dominoes. KKona, they're going to tie this up in 14 rounds.
Nice staggered flashbangs from KKona on that entrance into the B bomb site, making sure that Whitmer's blind when they eventually do just rush right through. It did look like for a second he was going to have the angle to at least get 1 kill, but that flashbang is timed very, very well. So Roka's the last one left, 1 on 4, trying to grab some exits, seeing if anyone's going to chase him down, and he just gets spammed away by Rue. So 14-14, it's all tied up. The retake has officially occurred. And now another buy out of Complexity, but it's winding down. This might be the last real strong buy they have as they completely buy out. With a losing bonus, I think it's a full losing bonus at the moment. It is. But still, I mean, you're not going to be able to have too much after this. That's not enough to have a full buy. So Complexity's got to make this one work.
Back to the double op setup here too. It's Sank's picking that one up again, where they'd previously just gone for the single op setup to get a little bit more utility with the AK or with the M4, rather sitting on Sank's. KKona's still sticking to the slow play. They do keep the bomb just inside of the entrance to the apartments this time around, though. Not really going to immediately commit it back over to the A-bomb site, so maybe a different type of hit is going to be coming in from KKona's, but plenty of time left on the clock and plenty of time to change things, too. As right now they're sticking to that very passive style of play, looking for the early aggression to come out from Complexity, which they've been keen on doing in quite a few of these previous gun rounds.
L's taking it very, very slow. Shoulder peeking to see if anyone's going to get on top of the stairwell, and there it is. Roka's going to oblige him, but I think he spots out his shoulder, but the shots don't land. So 3 members over towards A for KKona. Els is going to be lining up a smoke. The bomb is over towards the B bomb site. So actually, this is the thought process for KKona. They've had so many of these executes that have done so well that have won them rounds. They think that as soon as the smokes rain over, it's going to force some rotates. That'll allow the B defense to get overrun very quickly. And actually, Shinobi's pushing up and getting aggressive. And a knife comes out for Rue at the wrong moment. Shinobi finds an easy kill and falls right back. Meanwhile, smokes flashes. The line of smokes is up in that A bomb site for KKona. Even actually Vice is dinked down to 18. Els jumps across as he's been doing this whole half. Sanks is ready for it. 3 members in connector. That kind of aggressive play, it's not going to work this time. This is the adjustment that Complexity makes. Second kill for Sanks. Osh on top of the stairs. Sanks gets that as well. Triple kill for him, and there's Def chiming in from the A site. KKona gets shut down that time, trying to run the fake. And enough members survive for Complexity of another very strong buy. So 1 round left for KKona. They've come all this way. And will they get stopped here? And that's why I think we are seeing a pause, a tactical pause from KKona to decide what exactly they want to do.
And it's so simple, too. KKona just all of a sudden decided to slow things down on that A hit, and it ends up working out very, very badly for these players. And it all starts, too, with that aggressive peek through the apartments there from the CT side, picking up some kills there. Immediately that causes some chaos, and KKona trying to make up for it by all of a sudden hitting the A-bomb site. That doesn't work. They don't have intel on the positions of the Complexity players or any of that. And unfortunately, they're just completely overwhelmed there on that A-bomb site.
Yeah, and it was that attempted fake that actually, I mean, it's the push from Shinobi that really kind of crushes everything. Gets that 1 kill, and they feel like that fake has been discovered by Complexity. So they'll go back towards that A-bomb site that hit, and it just doesn't work out. You can see Complexity, 3 members huddled up in that connector. The op, Sanks, has it on top of that stairwell over towards Palace as well. So just shuts everything down. A little bit unfortunate for KKona. This would be heartbreaking if they get stopped here, but for Complexity, I mean, this might be just a breath of, a sigh of relief to get to that 15th round, because they have been dismantled in this half, and it's been their economy, really. I mean, obviously the A defense has failed them twice in crucial rounds. Right after they win one, they get reset, but they've been double saving so much that it's, after they win those rounds, it's like, all right, automatic double save. So they haven't really had too many buys. KKona's actually had a pretty easy half to make in this comeback.
Yeah, we've maybe seen at most like 5 or 6 gun rounds now, with this one being the 6th right about here. And again, those big performances coming in. Roka actually dropping off, I think, in this half quite significantly compared to what we were seeing back on the T side. He was leading the charge in a very big way, but we really haven't seen too much of him this time, just in terms of the impact that he's been having. Specifically on that A-bomb site, there hasn't really been too much of him there.
Yeah, and you got to think as well, winning the pistol, if you're Complexity after the first half that they had at 11-4, and then dropping the second one, that's just, it's crushing. That's crushing. Because it did look like they were just going to cruise an easy win after that pistol round. So struggles for both of these teams, and this is just kind of indicative of the seasons they've had. Very difficult seasons. Obviously, we've talked about KKona, no wins quite yet. Complexity towards the bottom of the standings, and you can see why. Just some of these CT side struggles, you're not going to win many matches if you're saving this many rounds, if you're relying on like a double op setup or relying on these ops too much. The
big guy for KKona's, and actually we pegged him as the player to watch for this match, and it turned out to be absolutely correct, was Ruru, who right now is sitting at 31-21, leading the charge Mirage by a big margin compared to the rest of his teammates. An interesting player when you look at him overall across the season, just on his match-for-match stats, because always seems to be sort of hiding in the middle of the pack, never really doing anything super spectacular, but then he has this 1 or 2 games where he just goes absolutely crazy and comes out with an all-star performance, and tonight at least this is one of those games.
Yeah, he is having a really, really strong performance, and I mean that's pretty crazy. He's been part of that entry team on that A bomb set, and those A executes that do. Him and Els are the ones who get very, very aggressive jumping over. So, 15-14, the 30th round, the deciding round. Are we going to go to overtime, or are we going to have Complexity take this first map? That's what we're here to decide. And once again, KKona not going for that A execute that's been so successful, spreading out across the map. An invert trying to grab a jumping shot onto Complexity, jumping at that B site, just trying to grab some intel. He's going to fall away now. This defense for Complexity, is Sanks actually dropped out of window in mid? It looks like it. So, yeah, he's actually checking underpass. This is a very aggressive play. He's got no one to support him. So, I mean, the timing of this could just have been brutal for him if he's looking the wrong way at the wrong time. So now, after they make a presence over at that B site with that one shot from the AWP, they're going to line up this A take that's been successful for him in this half.
KKona's now getting ready to move themselves over to the A-bomb site. Vice, the only player going into an alternate angle, too. If they've got someone with close eyes back over there to the T-ramp, this could be brutal, and they're about to push back in, but Roka's going to get flashed. Nice timing onto this one, and Sanks also not recommitting. The smoke setup is perfect. Look at it. They can't see anything on that site right now, but where's KKona? This is the question, because look how aggressive Def's got now. He's pushed up through the smoke. Finally, they're going to flash out and start this execute here, but with Def pushed up, if he wants to get aggressive and make a move, he could find some big kills here. Hiding back for now, but the smoke start to fade. He's going to get a chance to find a frag, but really, the movement's better from him. He picks up a kill. Roka does respond. L's finding another one, as does Vice. Down to a 3v1, however, with those 2 initial entries going in the favor of KKona, and it all falls to Whitmer. If he can't pull off this clutch, we're going to OT.
Yeah, this is atrocious from this defense from Complexity. Falling apart again and again and again. None more crucial than this last round. Whitmer in a 1-on-2. He's got a Molotov and 2 flashes to work with. Molotov out into Palace. He's got to use this wisely. He's got to make a play at some point in the next 7 seconds, but Invert just swings out, grabs the angle, and ends it. So 15-15, we will be going to overtime. That pause, KKona decides what they want to do. They spread out initially, make a presence over towards the B bomb site, ensuring that that A site won't be stacked for that kind of a hit, and just fall right back into it. So just a clever little play that fools Complexity completely. And again, that defense is just not able to do anything against that execute.
Nope, and we're going to go directly into the first half of overtime. Pretty typical rules for anybody that may be unfamiliar with the way that the ESL Pro League works. MR3, max 10K start money, so the typical overtime format that most tournaments are using follows up here as well. And it looks like we'll be sticking to the same side to start things off. Complexity keeping themselves on the CT side, and KKona's will remain on the T side, which actually gives KKona's a very big advantage when you consider just how differentiating the scorelines were from both halves. KKona's managing to swing all the way back from a 11-4 start in Complexity. Complexity, unfortunately, just not able to close out enough of those CT-sided gun rounds.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy that they struggled so much on those as well after the first half, where it just looked like they were outskilling everyone. So this defense just...
I think realistically, like, they only won at most like 1 gun round that entire half.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, they were saving so much.
That second win was an eco win, wasn't it? Yeah, so that's pretty scary. They won the pistol round. Yeah, they must have only won 2 gun rounds max of that half. So when we talk about the struggles Complexity's having, that's pretty atrocious stat that you just brought up. So 15-15, Ruse brought down to 24. 4 members of KKona in these B halls, and Sanks, he's playing over in the corner, the get right spot as we like to call it. He's just waiting for this execute to come in. Shinobi's trying to bait for him. That's going to be a pretty dangerous crossfire setup if they can get it set up perfectly. Ruse going to drop a smoke. Shinobi's ready for this though. Is he going to get blind? Molotov comes out. He's just biding his time, waiting. He's going to get on top of the van. There's the first jump out. Els falls to Sanks. Vice as well quickly afterwards. Invert gets 1 kill, but that's under Roka. That's in market. So Sanks is still here. Doesn't have to move whatsoever. And now Shinobi's jumped up as well. They might have heard that, but Rue clears everything out. And there it is. Shinobi just turns, grabs an easy kill, and Invert falls afterwards. So Shinobi, a huge hold. 2 kills for him, 2 kills for Sank. Those are the 2 members of that crossfire, and Ocean's the last one left.
He's supposed to be on lurking duty, so we're going to awkwardly find himself in a bit of a strange position there as he tries to lurk back around Def. Going to be able to shut him down, and that gives Complexity the lead heading into OT.
This is where, your B defenders are like, all right, guys, we handled the execute on our site. Come on, you guys over at A, what are you doing over there? Wasn't that hard. But, I mean, that's the thing. You'd expect KKona to go back towards the A site now.
And that looks like it's what they're going to be doing here. Starting off with some mid-control first, though, as already pushing Ocean towards this one. 2 more. going to be working their way over towards the B-bomb site, though, so possibly looking at a fake once again, but Complexity aggressive with their initial positioning. They've got both Whitmer and Def pushed back up to the boxes to watch for a hit from Palace and the T-ramp. Not going to be finding it, though, as KKona's looking for an execute that'll come a little bit later on in the round. However, they do have players positioned outside of that room, and Whitmer might be able to spot players sitting just up on top of that. I'm not sure if he sees the shadow or not, but if they drop down from there, he could find himself an early pick, and that would be the bomb as well if they decide to risk it.
Sanks trying to peer around the smoke. Oh, it's going to fade in the window room. Roka gets one easy kill. Vice transfers, and now Sanks is in a bad spot. Whitmer close up to A-ramp with an AWP. Again, doesn't work out. He falls to L's immediately. Last defender left at the A bomb site is found out. Def falls. There's Sanks with one more kill. Oceans and Connector just patiently waiting for this, and is Sanks going to be prepared for it? Is he going to clear this corner? I don't think he's spotted it yet. Did look likely for a second, but he's not going to. So it's all down to Shinobi on this flank. He does find L's. Down to a 1-on-2.
As he works his way back in, might find himself a battle behind that first trip stack there, but actually that's a great flash rolling up from the T's. Just completely blinds him, and Ocean hiding inside of the site is going to be able to finish him off. Nice teamwork there at the end of it to immediately retie them in the favor of KKona.
Yeah, that was a sick flash, and both of them peak as well. Roka has got to feel like he should have had 2 kills there. Spray takes a little bit long on Rue, and Vice responds quick enough. But again, we saw Roka do that close op to A-ramp. I'm not sure why this is happening. That spot is just, if you miss the shot, you're dead. And we saw it there from Whitmer. I'm not sure what he's doing close up with the op. Dangerous, dangerous gamble, and it doesn't pay off. So getting caught out of position just a little bit here.
Def going to be aggressive this time now, back over towards middle. Only seen that a couple times back in regulation now, but he's gone back to it this round. Actually, it was a good thing that Ocean did decide to fall back from that area, as Roka decided to peek his head out of here too. So if Ocean had stuck around behind the boxes or tried to go for a larger peek, he might find himself a dead man right now, and Complexity having the man advantage early on in this round. But after some initial noise is made over to the B bomb site, most of KKona is falling away from the B halls, regrouping through T spawn. And it might just turn to this typical A hit that they went for 3 or 4 times in that last half and worked out almost every single time they tried it.
Oh, and look at it now. There's only one member at the A site at the moment, so it could just work out equally well. This late in the round, Def and mid, might want to get aggressive. Try and push up. You'd have a quick flank to either one of the bomb sites. You'd be finding out a lot of the intel, and he just looks like he's moving and trying to peek a little bit wider down towards T mid. So now he's going to have the intel. Shinobi's also pushing up in B. The question is, when does Roka rotate over? Sanks is now getting over towards the A site. Roka as well. Execution is coming in. The smokes have been thrown. Here come the flashbangs. No one present in the actual A site. They're playing a retake.
Actually, some nice counteractive flashes coming back in to hold KKona back for a few more moments. Def and Shinobi lining up that monster flank, but they're very slow about it. The take is actually going to start, and they're probably going to be able to get the bomb down before they can really do anything about this, but thankfully KKona have trapped themselves in a box of their own smokes or two, so there's not really a whole lot of responses coming out from them. Def strikes first, but Els does respond. Are they counting on 2 to be counting up on that position, though? Shinobi's now crept his way inside of Palace. Nonetheless, Whitmer striking some of these guys on the side itself. Shinobi is going to get a kill on the Vice for free. Nicely done. The flank works out great. The final 2 are stuck behind the T-ramp, but Els strikes back, gets himself outside of that one. Molly rolls down from Shinobi. That's going to hold the rest of these back. They're moving in. They're trying to get the defuse. They should be able to close it out quite nicely now if they decide to jump back on it. But nonetheless, Sanks just doing that work on his own, finds his final 2 kills and making sure everybody on KKona goes down to the floor before they even attempt it. And they will be able to close it out, retaking the lead once more for Complexity to close out the first half of OT.
This time, everyone on Complexity plays a full retake of that A site one. So when the execution does come in, no one gets caught in front of those smokes. No one falls. And also, because of the delayed, that delayed style that KKona had because of the counter nades that came out from Complexity, it allows that flank to get a little bit closer. It allows them to take the longer flank passage into Palace as well. So good play from Complexity in that round. Shinobi and Def getting aggressive up mid into those B halls. If anyone's seeing this for the first time, this is overtime, and the rules are a little bit different than regulation. We just had 1/2 of overtime. It's only 3 rounds, 10,000 start money. Which means that your economy can get pretty punished even in just those 3 rounds. But still, 2 rounds for Complexity on their CT half in overtime, 1 for KKona. First team to get to 19 rounds will win if this only stays in that first overtime.
Some more factors that hopefully should bounce back in too for Complexity is going to be that Roka will be way more prevalent, I would assume, back and now that they're on the T side. This is where we saw a lot of his power and a lot of the reasoning as to why Complexity took that 11-4 start there back over on the first half of regulation. So if his fragging power is going to be a lot more prominent on the T side, and we see that once again with the Complexity having the lead coming out of the first half of OT, them only needing to win 2 out of these 3 rounds, then it could be a quick closeout here for these guys to take control of the first map now finally.
And Bert's got his AWP in window room. And Whitmer, this was something we mentioned. Complexity really didn't rely on the AWP too much in regulation on their terrace side. Only really picking it up when they could salvage it off a KKona player, and Ocean's going to get aggressive in B halls. This is very, very risky. Are Roka and Whitmer going to be ready for this? Whitmer's not. He's got the op. Roka's got to respond. He does. He trades it off. That's a good find. Down to a 4-on-4, and this is going to pull two members, actually all three, kind of evacuate that A bomb site. Vice just catches himself at the last second and sticks around. Bomb still in B tunnels. It's with Roka, and he's being very loud, very aggressive, and he's going to get caught out by Els. And actually, the rest of Complexity is so far away. It's only Def who's here. There's still two members, you know, at top mid and just now getting into the halls. El's still alive over towards Van. Def's being aggressive towards Market. He's found one, but there's still no one here to back Def up. He gets another kill. He's doing this all by himself. Pretty impressive, actually, but 55 seconds left. Molotov comes out onto Els. He's going to be forced out of his spot. Sank's coming up. Catwalk Vice is ready for it, though. Cleans it out. 1-on-2 now with Shinobi peering over towards Catwalk.
Shinobi, unfortunately, too, there's going to be a lot of utility tossed in his direction, and this is a bit disappointing, too, when you consider the fact that Def had gotten back into this site for free. Def walks all the way in there. All the attention was drawn to the apartments. However, Shinobi still with a good chance to try and close this out. Picks up the first kill into Els, looking for another one. But Vice, at long range, will be able to shut him down. And again, KKona's keep this game tied now at 17 rounds. Yeah,
Roka over-aggressive with the bomb there all on his own. It's just so pretty incredible. I'm not sure what they were thinking, but I mean, look at how spread out this team is. Just watch the mini-map here. Look at where everyone is. One's not even all the way up Catwalk. I mean, Def's just trying to hold off as long as he possibly can. He actually does an amazing job. But with Roka falling alone with the bomb and no one else there to kind of trade or follow up, that pretty much confined Complexity to a B hit. That was the only option they have. So another op is bought up by Def. Whitmer had it last round, but because the economy is so punishing in overtime, he can't afford it again this time. 4 members down mid for Complexity. This is looking to be a very fast take up towards the A bomb site. Molotov out into window room, and they're content with control for now.
Shinobi falling back through the T-spawn as well to find another entry point, either through the Palace or through T-ramp there, but KKona's has a lot of presence sitting in this A bomb site. They're ready for this kind of a hit here, and there's Invert with Nate getting tossed back out, not really going to connect all that much damage. It hits Whitmer pretty nicely, but there's Els with a great peek, and there's a nice pot flash behind it too, so Els able to decimate Whitmer, and also gets a lot of intel with that peek.
Yeah, huge kill to find, and this is stalled Complexity. Hell, they have a couple flashbangs and smokes to work with. Shinobi responds onto Rue. Still up in Palace. Vice is going to get aggressive down towards A ramp. Looks like he wants to clear this out. He knows there's a big presence because of that aggressive peek in mid from Els. And Invert's just watching for someone to walk up the stairs, and it might be Def who falls prey. Els finds hit one. Vice misses the initial shot, but recovers on 2 players. He drops Shinobi and Def. It's now down to a 4-on-1. Roka's the last one left. But this is going to be an 18th round for KKona, barring any kind of insanity from Roka.
Roka just trying to hide now, looking for someone else to re-enter through the connector there. And Els is going to go for the pot flash. That actually should be one of the easier kills for Roka to find, but now he's giving himself away, and there's so much more to do with only 30 seconds left on the clock. He's found another target sitting up on top of the ticket booth. That's Invert, probably one of the weaker players here from the side of KKona's, and that's a nice tap from Roka. Waiting for a peek from Device too, but looks away just at the wrong time. Down to 20 seconds now as Roka moves himself back in. Hasn't managed to spot Vice just as of yet back over there, but he saw him now. However, Vice is smart about that. Falls back, plays it away. They know the timer's getting low. Ocean going to be jumping out onto the site. Roka, nice reaction from him. He picks up the kill, and he's still got enough time to get this plant on the ground too. So in the 1v1, Vice is now going to re-enter, but it's so late about this one. The only thing that he could get the kill with is going to be the fact that Roka did not realize he re-entered the site, and thankfully he gets lucky with that. So Vice closes out the 1v1, and KKona's retake the lead once more.
Oh my god, Vice. Everyone on KKona should just be thanking that man right now. In a 1-on-4, and he finds 3 1-on-1s. Actually finds 4 since he turns it into a 1-on-1 here, but that is incredible that KKona allows him to come back into this. That's a nice shot. That's not too bad, but Ocean committing there. I mean, use the timer as a friend. You get him off the bomb, you know he's shooting at you. You don't have to commit to that fight. Get him to the point where he's got to in sake of time, especially because your teammate's so incredibly low. But Roka almost pulls off the miracle. Now you can see the economy starting to get punished. Tech 9 on Def. Whitmer's got no nades. But quick, 3 members in Palace, they're just going to walk out. Whitmer's going to lead the way. Vice is about to be under a lot of pressure, but he gets the first kill. They don't look for him. Can he get a second one? He can't, but he brings Def down very, very low.
And inside of the site now, it mainly falls to Ruru along with Invert to try and hold this. Again, very little control of the actual site itself. No presence on ticket booth. The other 2 are still rotating in from the B-bomb site. Nice peek from Ruru, actually, there. Gets a decent amount of intel. They know that a lot of them have fallen back over there towards the T-ramp and Checkers, or apologies, Tetris once again. So should be able to catch them later on in the round, but for the time being, they need to waste so much time just getting these B players in position, and they've also just lost Ruru there too. The reaction comes out from Invert, and Ocean finding another pickup here too. Roka and Shinobi finding more for Complexity, and it's all on Ocean now if he wants to close out this map here.
Running back for a smoke towards CT spawn. He's going to drop that. There's one on the stairs. One in Palace. His def is so low, and he peeks right before Ocean can even get to the bomb. So 18-18. We are going into double overtime now. So it is going to roll it back. Same rules. 3 rounds per overtime half. 10,000 start money. This time it's going to be first to 22 is going to win the match.
Or if we tied at 21, triple overtime.
Yes, that is how it works.
Box of fun.
Thank you, Blue. This is so neither team able to close out in regulation with massive halves at 11-4. Neither team able to close out in the overtime. Complexity able to win that one out. It did look like KKona had the advantage in that last round actually, but it just slips away just a little bit.
What's a bit weird here too is in overtime now the CT sides and the gun rounds here and OT are what actually end up dominating. It's 2-1 splits on both sides of it. And it's always 2-1 in favor of the CTs compared to some very T-sided halves back in regulation there too, oftentimes due to them controlling the economy. But no longer that being a factor here, and the CTs being able to buy from round after round into the next round. They're able to hold things quite nicely. And now Complexity is going to jump back onto the T side, and we'll see what they can work with.
Yeah, Whitmer looking for that jump peek for information from anyone on the KKona side. Looks like Ocean might oblige him. No, he just, there it is. I think Whitmer spots it but doesn't take the shot. Smoke comes out. Actually, double smoke, so a mistake, but Complexity's already in front of it. Ocean's going to be the first one. Def finds him, not prepared for a second, but he spins and he gets the kill onto Els. B bomb site opened up for Complexity. 4-on-3 situation. Rue has now gotten to market. The Opera was actually blind, so he couldn't punish that. But through the smoke, Rue finds Def. Down to a 3-on-3. It's equalized.
And Roka now just going to try to molly some of these players off. Buy his team as much time as humanly possible here. Actually, really good timing on the nade usage too, as it's holding back KKona just as they were attempting to go for their re-entries. So KKona's not really able to find any way outside of this market, and it's all on Roka to hold this. Finally, he gets shut down by Ruru, but Sanks is immediately on the trade for that one. Inverts the last man alive. He's got 12 HP. He's going to try to go for it here, but what hope does he have with such low HP? He's also pretty much given away the fact that he's also re-entering for market here too. So all these Complexity members have to do is hide in a corner. They're going to be picking up this first round here in second overtime, and Invert is going to actually fall back to try and save.
Will he get away in time? This is actually a huge save to have. And he will. Only takes a couple points of damage, but he gets out. One member actually dies on Complexity side, but if he's to lose that op with the, especially the CT side economy, which gets punished much more in overtime, that would have been so detrimental. You can see Ocean actually had an M4 this round. He buys an op in the next one, 50 left, but Def, these entries, huge plays from him. That spin onto Els. So Complexity grabbed the first round of this second overtime on the Terror side, and this is a critical round for KKona to win because they have 3 members who are sitting below $500, so the last round buy of overtime would just be brutal for them.
Complexity going for early mid control here now too. And a lot of it as well. 4 to 5 of their players going to take control of this very early on, with Whitmer sort of leading the charge. The other 3 hiding behind a smoke on Cat, with Roka being the only other player that's away from this action. He's gone for control of the apartments and probably going to act as a later entry for us to go. But oh, actually no, just going to blind peek the apartments there, and that won't work out very well, as Ocean is going to pick up a nice and easy shot onto him. Shinobi responding to this one, and Sanks picking up another one here too. Not a lot of utility to hold back these T's as they try to enter in through Cat, so they get a nice amount of control. And the CTs have to go for a very long rotate. Ruru going through underpass, so we're going to be able to surprise with this a little bit, but for the most part, they've got good control, but there's Vice. Now starts the re-entry because Whitmer gets a little bit over-aggressive back towards Cat. And
Sanks is incredibly low. So he's got to be the one to be aggressive there because he's actually doubled up with a teammate, so he's got to be the one that they see first and kill. Hope for a bait and switch. Rue's blind in this palace. There it is. Sanks sacrifices himself, so now it's all on Def to get that falling. Actually, it's Shinobi there, excuse me. He does find that on device, and now Rue's going to jump out a window. Invert finds him, but Def trades it off. Down to a one-on-one. Def trying to use this cover as long as humanly possible. Catches Rue in a jump, and he actually wins that battle. Brought down to 10 HP. Salvages the op. 2 rounds in a row, 1 for Complexity. They're up at 20. This is that nightmare situation. Invert, the only one with any kind of money on this CT side. He's at 5,400. He'll have a rifle, but already 4 pistols bought out. And Invert's going to go for the AWP with light armor, so he's got to do something huge for his team here in the last round of this first half of double overtime.
Complexity going for the 4-man push again now. Actually going to split it up a little bit more with Sanks watching out for an A hit there. 3 more inside of the apartments push though, and Shinobi watching out for that mid pressure. Keeping the bomb on the floor for the time being, but I think after Sanks, there was a little bit of noise over to that A-bomb site. He'll be falling back to retrieve that and then regrouping with the main force. And there's Shinobi too, catches some aggression back over here towards mid. They've already got themselves the man advantage, and still 2 players firmly cementing themselves to the A-bomb site. So all they have to defend B, if this ends up being that straightforward hit, is going to be Ocean and Els. They are starting to shift now, but if Complexity did go for this hit right here and it was successful to a certain degree, then there would not be a whole lot KKona could do to retake it.
Yeah, Ocean's just got to fall away. It's a bummer to them. They've got to be feeling a little bit unfortunate that their Opera was the first one to fall without even a response. Ocean gets mollied out of position. Nice job by Complexity, not leaving anything up to chance. Els is here close up towards the drop. There's Whitmer with a nice hop shot as well. So now Els, no matter how big of a performance he has here, might not be enough, but 2 kills. Roka does eventually trade him off. Vice is the last one left. CZ just going to get out of market as quick as possible. Wins that initial battle. Now he's got an AK-47, but only 19 HP. And a 1-on-2 situation. Shinobi's here with an AK as well. And he's trying to isolate a one-on-one battle around these pillars, but he's getting wrapped upon, and he's not ready for that whatsoever. Whitmer's going to close it out. 3 rounds straight for Complexity on their T side of overtime. Like we said, looking for 22 as the magic number, and Invert doesn't even get a shot off.
Nicely done there by Invert, too. Or apologies by Shinobi to pick up that
not
nice
a nice job by Invert.
Not very nice at all. Very slow reaction. But this was nicely done there by Els to almost basically shut down that pressure, which is looking to almost be completely in the favor of Complexity that time around. But now they're going to switch, and of course Complexity having a 3-0 split on the first half of double OT here, needing only 1 to close it out. We would hope they can do this with 3 gun rounds potentially going back to back to back here. And KKona already showing issues in their first overtime on the T side.
This is also, I mean, we also know the schedule tonight is just these 2 matches. It's a doubleheader between these 2 teams, so KKona makes a huge comeback and then loses. If they lose here in double overtime, that's going to be just shattering for the second map, which is going to be on Overpass. So that would be a huge bummer for them. Right off the bat, Complexity, they want to close it out. They go for a double op setup. No op on the KKona side. And you got to imagine they're going to go right into that A execute because Complexity hasn't been able to stop it yet. And this could just be a nightmare. If Complexity loses based on just a bunch of those executes here in double overtime, that would be such a bummer. Roka's going to get close up towards A ramp waiting for this. They know it's coming. But still, there's only 2 members here. You got to think that this would eventually just get stacked up by Complexity. They would just put a 3rd person here.
Sanks is watching for mid pressure, as is Def too. So Def actually, this is good that they have him early on, but again, it's very, as you mentioned, it's very straightforward and they play close up, so they're risking one of their players. Roka jumps, so he's a dead man now. And now they have control of the site.
What is happening in this match? Why is Complexity just jumping through smokes? Down these, like, this is not defense. Now the bomb is lost to the open, so there's actually an opportunity for Complexity to get back here. But once again, the way to respond to this is eluding Complexity. Still, they've evened things up in a 3-on-3. Invert on this lurk up connector. That's going to be a free kill onto Def as well. Oh, Def turns around right in time, but Invert still gets the kill.
And now Whitmer, the main driving force behind this. 2 ops as well left alive, both on Invert and Sanks, or apologies, on Whitmer and Sanks. But Whitmer is going to be the main one that has to perform here, as he's got some of these players out in the open, and there's the first one, shuts down Ruru. Looking for the peek from Invert back over towards ladder, but his attention is drawn over to trying to get Sanks out from cover, as he's sounding a little bit closer inside the jungle, and Vice very scared to peek out, but he does need to try and get himself back into this bomb site here. All he's got to work with is going to be that molly, but again, Invert picking up another kill. It shut down Sanks. Nicely done by Vice, just baiting out the op shot here. And now they can run in, trying to retrieve the bomb, but Whitmer picks up that kill. 1 more to close out the match if he can shut down Vice, and he's going to crawl his way in. Whitmer, nicely done, will save the round for Complexity. And they're going to take double OT, 4 rounds straight. 22-18 is going to be the final score.
Yeah, so KKona, they have that nice comeback, but they do get shut down in the end. But still, that execute is just insane how Complexity could not adjust properly to. Now they do overcome it there in the end. But that looked very sketchy in that last round. They had to come back from a 3-on-5, I believe it was. So either way, congratulations to Complexity winning that first map on Mirage. We are going to we're going to have a montage here of this matchup, this beautiful double overtime match. A lot of frags to pick from as we have it up here. And this is that aggression early on from Rude. All 4 members blind. He only gets 2. But this is the thing, too. There was a big first half from Complexity in terms of score, 11-4, but they won 2 or 3 1-on-2s in that first half. To help propel that lead. That was a cool one from Sanks here. But, I mean, you mentioned it earlier at some point in overtime, or I believe it was in the second half. Roka really quieted down, but in Terra's side, the first half of regulation, Roka was an animal. But then switching over to CT side, this is that A execute aggression towards stairs, towards connector from the T side. You can see that's a completely blind kill from Rue, and he actually gets a 2nd here. So Complexity just couldn't figure out a way to deal with that all throughout the half.
One thing that's really respectable, too, for Complexity that you can sort of note, it definitely dropped away as we got into the second half and further into overtime as well. But for most of that first half, we actually saw most of Complexity was fairly even in terms of the fragging power. Roka, along with Sanks, were definitely the big players when it came to just overall entry power and getting themselves onto the sites, but also in closing out these rounds, everybody else in the team, Shinobi, Def, and Whitmer, also all had a very large part in keeping the frag totals very high. So it wasn't that extremely top-heavy performance that you often see on Complexity, where it's almost always Roka and Sanks leading the charge on that T side.
The game-winning round here, Whitmer in a 1-on-2 finds that first kill, and then the second one as well. So that's what finally propels Complexity to stop that comeback and get the victory. With that being said, there you see the score on the bottom. Mirage went 22-18 for Complexity double overtime. Next map is going to be Overpass between these very same 2 teams, so we are going to take a quick break as the teams also just take a few minutes off between after that marathon match before the next one starts. So we're going to go to a quick break. But when we come back, we're going to bring you that second map. So make sure you stay tuned, and we'll be back shortly.